So Canadian National had steamships under the Canadian National Steamship Company. I did not know this until randomly looking it up to be interesting, and I found out that they had a bunch of ships. Today's video will be focusing on the West Coast ships, which were all under the prefix of Prince. The Prince George II, Prince David, Prince Robert, Prince Henry, Prince Charles, and Prince William. The Prince Charles and Prince William, I do not have any information about. I apologize. Prince George II was named Prince George II because it was replacing another ship that was a predecessor to Canadian National Railway, and it had steamships. The Prince George II was built in 1948 after the first Prince George under the Grand Trunk Pacific Steamship Company caught fire in 1945. The Prince George II was built under the Canadian National Steamship Company. It was 350 feet long, 52 feet wide, had a top speed of 18 knots, and a carrying capacity of 322 passengers. The ship had a very quiet career. It ran aground in the Johnstone Strait in October 18th, 1953. There were no deaths and a very minor damage as it hit the rocks on the side instead of straight on. In 1959, it was transferred to Summer Alaska Cruises. In 1976, it was transformed into a floating restaurant. And in October of 1995, it caught fire, and then while being towed to China, it sank on the way. The Prince David was built in 1930. It was 385 feet long, 57 feet wide, 22 knots, and 404 passengers as its capacity. In 1940, it was converted to an armed merchant cruiser with 4 6-inch guns, 2 3-inch guns, and 2 depth charge chutes. In 1941, it towed a merchant ship into Bermuda due to concerns of the merchant ship's safety. It was also not doing well, and the Prince David was later given payment as a reward. It was delayed, but they eventually got it. It ran aground for 6 months during 1941, and then ran aground in Bermuda, struck debris in Alaska, and struck a mine, causing a 17-foot gash. In 1942, it was featured in Commando Strike at Dawn, which is a movie which I don't know where you can find it, but it exists somewhere, I think. In 1943, it was converted into a landing ship with 2 twin 4-inch guns, 2 40-millimeter guns, and 10 20-millimeter cannons, which replaced the 6-inch guns. In 1944, it was involved in D-Day, and then finally it was scrapped in 1952. The Prince Robert was built in 1930. It had a length of 385 feet, a width of 57 feet, a top speed of 22 knots, and a carrying capacity of 404 passengers. In 1935, it was overhauled. In 1939, it was converted to an armed merchant cruiser. 1 out of 3 funnels was removed. The 2 remaining funnels were shortened. It gained 4 6-inch guns, 2 3-inch guns, 2 depth charge chutes, and that was all of the guns for now. In 1940, the crew of the ship captured and stole a German ship Weser. I might be pronouncing that wrong, and I apologize if I did. In 1941, it was rumored and then proven falsely to be at Pearl Harbor during the attack on it. It was not there. It was not harmed. In 1942, it gained 1 20-millimeter cannon, and then in 1943, all of its guns were replaced by 5 twin 4-inch guns, 4 twin 40-millimeter guns, and 12 20-millimeter cannons with 4 depth charge chutes. In 1943, later in the year, its convoy was attacked by 25 bombers. These were German bombers. 1 of the merchant ships were sunk, 1 of them was damaged, and 2 of the German planes were shot down. In 1945, it got a second overhaul, and then 4 out of the 12 cannons were replaced by 4 twin 40-millimeter guns. In 1948, it got a refit. In 1951, it was renamed to the Lucania by Fratelli Grimaldi, which became its new owner. The ship was lengthened to 400 feet, and its capacity was raised to 750 people. In 1962, the ship was scrapped. The Prince Henry was built in 1930. It was 366 feet long, which means it was shorter than the two sister ships. It was still 57 feet wide. It had a 20-knot speed and still 404 passengers. This ship was a little bit of an oddball. It was not the same and then still the same. It did its own thing. In 1934, it ran aground in Bermuda. These ships love running aground in Bermuda. I don't know why, but they did. In 1937, it was renamed to the North Star under the Clark Steamship Company. In 1941, it was converted into an armed merchant cruiser, bought back by the Canadian/British government, and regained its name of Prince Henry. In 1941, it was converted into a landing ship. It gained two twin 4-inch guns and two 40mm guns with 10 20mm cannons to replace its 6-inch guns, which it got while being transferred into an armed merchant cruiser. In 1945, it was transferred to full British ownership and then renamed the Empire Parkston. It was scrapped in 1962. So that will be it for today's video on Canadian National Steamships. If you did enjoy the video, then don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to comment if you want more videos like this or anything else about the topic, and especially if you find something about the Prince Charles or Prince William, because I can remake the video and add information about those, because the sources I used were not helpful. So anyway, see you next time.